Hey there. So I want to talk about the Joel Greene gut health smoothie that he recommends and exactly what's in that. I'm going to adjust my camera here a little bit. So let's dive right into it. If you don't know who Joel Greene is, let's talk about it. Who is he? Joel Greene is the author of a book called The Immunity Code, which you can find on Amazon and on his website. He's been researching nutrition, diet, fitness for 30, 40 years. And he's trusted enough that he's been a multiple times he's been a guest on the Ben Greenfield Podcast. So he's trusted by Ben Greenfield. And I think for the first time he went on the podcast, it was back in July of 2020. And it was a 2-part episode. And then he was on the podcast again in January of 2021. So that is Joel Greene. Again, he's the founder of Veep Fitness, Veep like the TV show, VEEP, which you can Google to see that website where he has basically a protocol and clients that he works with. He's also a consultant to various companies. And once again, he's the author of the book called The Immunity Code, which basically discusses a diet and nutrition plan that centers on gut health and how important the microbiome is and how exactly what you put in affects what you get out. And so that's Joel Greene. And so on the most recent episode of the Ben Greenfield Podcast, where Joel Greene was a guest, he talked about one of his biggest tips for gut health, which is human milk oligosaccharides, HMO, if you're not familiar with it. And so HMO can come in a powder form. It can come in a capsule form where the powder is inside little capsules. And Joel Greene recommends a smoothie. So his smoothie recipe is as follows. A scoop of HMO powder. Layer Origin Nutrition HMO powder, for example, recommends around 2,000 milligrams per day. So again, Joel Greene is recommending, number one, a scoop of HMO powder, apple peels, and he's talking about red apple peels. Red apples due to the color pigments, and the amount can vary, but basically you peel an apple and you do just the skins. You don't want the fructose from the apple. You just want what is in the skin of the apple. So starting over, number one, HMO powder, scoop of it, apple peel, red phenols, which you can order online. You can Google that. It's phenols, PHENOLS, and then a scoop of whey protein. And usually people want to go for an isolate, which has less filler and junk and gunk in it. So once again, that is Joel Greene's recipe for the ultimate gut health smoothie. Probably the most important factor of that smoothie is the HMO, the human milk oligosaccharide, which if you're not familiar with it is a component of breast milk. And if it's basically what's credited scientifically with boosting and really building the infant gut from scratch, the infant gut lining, the immune system, and number 3, cognitive health of babies and infants. And it was researched for over 100 years, and it wasn't until the early 2000s and even 2010s that basically scientists discovered a way to synthesize it or replicate it, basically taking lactose, crystallized lactose isolate, and very highly purified, fermenting that very precisely, purifying it again, and over years and decades of trial and error, arriving at something that was 98% pure HMO. And so Joel Greene, huge proponent of HMOs, talks about it all the time. Go on YouTube, search Joel Greene, GREENE HMO, and a lot of information comes up. So Layer Origin Nutrition, our company, is getting a lot of amazing feedback from people who've taken our HMO supplements, which come in a capsule or a powder or a combo capsule, which is the prebiotic HMO and probiotics. So you have a lot of options, and hopefully you found this video helpful if you're looking to make the ultimate gut health smoothie as recommended by Joel Greene.